Okay, hi everybody. Welcome to the Whole Heart Social Media Masterclass for today. And my name's Diana Morgan. I'm excited to have you here. And welcome to everybody who's present, and welcome to everybody who's watching the video, the replay. And we're going to dive right in. Feel free to put in the chat where you're from. And I know. Yeah, so do that. And if you have questions, you can put them in the chat. We'll cover questions at the end. And uh, a lot of times I know what the question's going to be, so I just keep going. So I'm going to dive right in. So whole heart marketing is a systems-based approach to authentic heart-centered marketing on the internet to build continued, consistent, credible visibility and influence with strategic partners, clients, and followers, while leveraging your time and resources to generate consistent income and make a bigger impact. Welcome, Monique. And just to let you know, I have been doing this work for about 20 years. And my focus is free organic reach. So that is like, how do we get engagement on social media? I do boosting posts and I do things like that, but I'm really focused on free organic reach. And that's what today is going to be about. And although I give this training about once a month, it's different every time because guess what? Everything I'm telling you was true as of this morning, because everything is always changing on social media. And everything that I'm telling you, most of it is all social media. I tend to talk a lot about Facebook, but it's really all social media. So today, what we're going to talk about is the Whole Heart Social Media Success Formula, so that you know how to share and how to use social media in a way that feels natural to you, builds trust, and gets results. And you're going to leave with a clear strategy to attract your ideal clients, a simple structure for post videos and DMs, and a plan to show up and share from the heart to promote your work without the ick factor. In other words, how to sell without being salesy, how to invite people. So here we go. Okay, this is the truth room. I'm the truth seeker. Here's my question for you today. The internet is a 24/7 networking opportunity. How do you show up? Are you consistent? Do you show up occasionally? Are you excited to show up? Does it feel like a big should to you? Like, ugh, because we are all connected and everything is energy. And your goal on your social media is to show up in the way that you would show up in person. So people experience you the same way in person as they would, as they do on the internet. So for example, if you're coming to your social media and you're saying like, ugh, I got to do this thing. I don't want to do it. And grunting and groaning, then that energy gets transmitted through your social media. And now that I've probably ruined your social media forevermore, your social media experience, I want you to start thinking about how you feel with certain people. Like, who do you lean into and who do you just, swipe on by? Because a lot of times it has to do with that. Or are you showing up on your social media and saying like, oh boy, I get to connect with some people and see what my friends are doing. I get to meet some new people. I get to see what's happening out there. Why are you showing up and how do you show up? So are you showing up to make new connections? Are you showing up to network with existing connections? Are you showing up to get referrals, clients, to be inspired, to educate, to find out what's happening? I hope you're not showing up to find out what's happening in the news, because if you are, you better be checking it out 3 times with 3 other sources at least. And or are you connecting with family and friends? So what is your goal? What are you doing on your social media? What is your motive? I just want to talk a little bit about how salesy happens. How does it happen that you become, what is happening for you when you're being salesy on social media? First of all, you're posting only promotion and you're skipping the relationship. Like one of the things, I'll ask somebody like, how's your social media going? And they'll say, oh, I'm posting all the time and I'm posting and nothing's happening. So guess what my question is? Okay, are you engaging? Posting and pumping out posts is not going to get you very much. Engagement is the engine of social media. It is what drives people to care about your posts. So we're going to talk a lot about how to engage. Are you leading with offer instead of value? Are you just you go on social media, you don't do anything, you're not doing anything, you're not doing anything, and then you just put out your, hey everybody, I have a free thing, or I have a discount or a special going. And then what you're doing is you're just basically 100% selling. Are you trying to sell too soon before you have influence? 90% of the time that you're spending on social media is about building influence. So then when you offer something, not sell, but invite someone, then you have influence with that person. So we're going to talk about the solution following the 50-40-10 formula. And I have my book, The Whole Heart Social Media Success Formula, which I have written a whole book about this. This is 17 years of my work on social media and on the internet, but you're gonna get the short version today. You can get my book on Amazon too. Okay, so the very first thing you want to do is you want to optimize your profile and posts, which means you want to make sure that your profile is complete with a good picture, your contact information. I go into my social media once a month and make sure everything is how I want it to be. I look at my message. I look at my cover photo. I look at my profile photo. I make sure all my links work if I have links in there. Make sure everything is current, because it's like every time the social media platforms upgrade, they reset, just like when you do something on your website and then you refresh it. So a lot of times settings that you have will get changed, or links will be broken. So you want to go in there every month and make sure everything is current. You want to use keywords for better searchability. We're going to talk about that in a few more minutes. You want to create attractive visuals, compelling captions, and you want to be consistent. Consistently update your profile and content strategy. So I want to talk about this engagement. This is a three-part relationship promotion framework. Okay, so it's to connect, to serve, and to invite. Connect, starting with something relatable. Connect to build friendships, to build relationships. Serve, which is to share something useful and inspiring. And then invite, making a warm, specific offer. So we're going to break this down. And this is the how to play. If you ever felt like, it seems like everybody knows what they're doing with social media, but I somehow didn't get the playbook. Well, here's the playbook. But in the meantime, we're going to talk about it today. So 50% of the time that you are on social media, you are connecting, engaging, building relationships, and sharing your core message. 40% of the time, you're serving. In other words, you're educating, inspiring, motivating. You're talking about why people should care what you offer. You don't know what you don't know. Okay. And then 10% of the time is to invite. So when you are connecting and engaging and you're serving and educating, inspiring, motivating, that's 90% of your time, so that you're building influence. And then people care. And when you invite them to something, they show up. So we're going to talk first about the 50%. So connect, which is like, follow, comment, share, and I like to say care. So it's not just, like. It's connecting, acknowledging, respond, and engage. So this is a great screenshot to take, because it's really what you want to be doing. If you took a screenshot of that and you have that up on your computer somewhere, it's going to remind you, this is engaging. It's not just the like button. It's really building the relationships, participating in the conversation. One heartfelt comment, participation in conversation can bring you 10 times more influence than just hitting the like button over and over again. Okay, the next thing to think about is timing. Timing to optimize your online presence. Okay, so you want to be playing online, and I like to say play because that's giving the right mindset. You want to be playing online when your audience is most active, and that's when you're going to get the highest reach. So how you know is you start playing online. Okay, you start becoming present. And I'm going to talk about this in a few minutes, but what you want to do is you want to be present 4 times a day for 15 minutes each. And what you're doing, we're going to talk about that in a few minutes, but being present. So it's not just pumping out posts that you scheduled or having your VA, it's you being present. This is the 50% of your time. And this is the highest and best use of your time on social media. And this is the thing you can't pay someone else to do. So you can use analytics tools to find out when your peak engagement times are. You can test different posting times. But if you're on 4 times a day for even 5-10 minutes, then you're going to see who's commenting right after you post. Like this morning, I posted something and somebody commented instantly after I posted it. So I know, okay, my audience is on and I know when they're on, and that's when I show up. And be consistent with your posting schedules. The next thing that we want to talk about is focus. Who are you talking to? Most of the time, we open up our social media platforms, and wherever we are, we think, what should I say? What should I post? But the real question is, who am I talking to? Okay, so think about, who are you talking to? That one person that you are the answer to their problem, to their struggle. And if you have more than one ideal client, then you want to focus. So maybe 1 month you're focused on one client, another month another. You don't want to keep going back and forth because it confuses people. So who are you talking to? What is the struggle? What is the thing that you're going to talk about in your social media that is going to cause them to lean in, to want more from you? And what do you offer? What is the transformation? So that, seeing this content go through your news feed, go through their news feed, is going to cause them to lean in, cause them to become curious and want more from you. So who are you talking to? How do you help them? And what do you offer? So now that you know who you're talking to, what do you offer? The struggle. Here's my challenge. I offer this every time I speak. Stop scrolling. No more doom scrolling. I want you to start picking 5 people a week to play with. And this is another great screenshot to take because this is a great practice. Honestly, this is what I have been doing for the past 18 years since I started using social media. And this is how I got my book to #1 bestseller. This is how I was averaging like 10,000 views. Now I'm averaging about 23,000 views because of the love challenge I did. But, free organic reach, free reach. And you're like, okay, well, so what is that bringing you? It's bringing me clients. It's bringing me speaking opportunities. It's bringing me collaborations. It's putting me in at the top of people's minds so that they remember me and they include me when opportunities come up. So what to look for in these 5 people? They're active on social media. They're active networkers. They offer a different service to a similar target market, and they have similar values in their messaging. So if their last post was in August of last year, they're not the right person for this game. So you want people who are going to play. Okay. Where do you find them? They're your friends. Okay. They're your connections. They're your friends' friends. They're groups that you're active in. You never have to do a cold lead again. Okay. If you're in a networking group, those are perfect people to play with. If you're in a group online, those are perfect people to play with. If you're in a community, those are the people that you want to start with. So you pick 5 people a week. And what do you do with these people? Again, you're liking, commenting, sharing, following. If you share something of theirs, tag them so that, they get a notification. You can invite them to Zoom. Here's what you don't do. You don't offer them something until you have a relationship with them. So don't just paste some, hey, you want to buy my this or come to my that, until you have the relationship. Okay. So it's just like at a networking event. You wouldn't walk into a room of people you don't know and or you know them a little bit and just, stick your card in their face or stick your whatever you're selling. You would sort of get to know them and let them get to know you, and then take it from there and, be human about it. So here's what happens. You pick 5 people. You're going to play with those 5 people for a week. Some of them are going to play, some of them aren't. And you'll know because you'll get notifications. Then the next week, pick 5 more people. Some of them will play, some of them won't. The next week, pick 5. If you do this for 3 to 6 months, you are going to be so excited about how much your social media accelerates. You're going to start loving your social media. You're going to start caring about what shows up in your feed. You're going to start really being excited about people showing up in your feed and wanting to play with you. So here is the sort of formula for the 15-minute segments, 4 times a day. So what do you do? Check your notifications to see who's playing with you. Explore who you've played with in the past. Like, comment, and share. Maybe make one in-depth comment. What can you share of their content? And make one in-depth comment about, on your social media and one on theirs. And when you share, so here's a little hot tip on social media that you may or may not know. When you share content now, Facebook doesn't really favor the share button anymore. It used to be a big thing to share with the share button. Now, if you share it as an original post, you get a higher reach. So what you want to do is, copy the blurb. This is what I do, and it's much easier to do it on your phone. Just copy the content, save the picture, go over to my social media, share it, and then here's the most important thing. Tag them and thank them for sharing it. Like, thanks for sharing, Monique, because otherwise it's not a win-win. If you just share it and you don't thank them, it's not a win-win. But if you share it and you thank them, then it's a win-win, and they know that you shared their content. So so that would be your 4 15-minute segments. And here's the thing. So I know some of you are like, oh my God, are you kidding? 15 minutes, 4 times a day? Don't you think I have something more important to do? But here's the thing. What if you were actually getting clients from that 15 minutes, 4 times a day? What if you were actually getting speaking opportunities, making connections? Would it be worth it to you? So hopefully the answer to that is yes. Put in the chat if it would be worth it to you to get, if you were actually getting leads, would you be willing to do the 15 minutes 4 times a day? And also, who's willing to do the 5 people? Pick the 5 people. Some of you have been on my calls before, so if you're already doing it, fantastic. And if you're not, this would be the perfect time to start. Okay. The next thing is to collaborate. Pick influential people in your community and in your industry to play with. Partner with influencers in your niche. Collaborate with complementary brands. And, co-create content. If you're going to do posting parties, I recommend that you find people like in this that are in your lane. So not just anybody, but people who are in your lane to play with for the 5 people and for the posting parties, so that you're all sharing each other's content. It's great. But if they're not in your niche, then it doesn't really benefit you that much. The goal is to build relationships, to create influence. Show up consistently, stay connected, and be curious. I want to emphasize show up consistently. It is crucial that you show up consistently. When you are posting, you're doing your thing, and then all of a sudden you don't show up for like a month or 2, it creates a breakdown. It creates a disconnect with people. And it's kind of an unconscious thing, but people, when you show up consistently, it creates a sense of credibility with people. So I want to encourage you to show up consistently. Engage with your audience before you post. This is a powerful strategy, okay? So Facebook favors people who are active participants. So if you start by engaging with your audience before you start posting, then people are going to start engaging with your posts. So respond promptly to comments, messages, and mentions. You will get a higher reach. The quicker you respond and the back and forth, the higher the reach. Ask questions to encourage conversation. And when you're asking questions, you guys, so this is kind of a pet peeve of mine. Ask relevant questions to what your business and your message is about. You know, I'm not from the school of like Brussels sprouts, yes or no. I'm from the school. I'm not going to answer those questions. I'm going to answer a question that's relevant to that person's business, because then I don't feel like it's just engagement bait. I feel like they really care. Like and share people's posts, lift people up, and show appreciation. If your audience engages, if they comment, then comment back. Never leave a comment without commenting back. And not just a like, but actually comment, because if you actually put a comment, even if it's an emoji in the comment box, it gets a higher reach than if you just click the like button. So that's 50% of your time. So think about for yourself, what is one thing from just talking about that 50% of your time that you could be doing differently or adding to your social media activities? And go ahead and put that in the chat. What is one thing that you could be adding to your social media activities from what we've just talked about? Okay, good. Responding in a more timely manner. That's very good. Yeah, absolutely. And if you do, you'll see that maybe you'll get a conversation going. Okay, marketing. Right, exactly. Comment back instead of just hitting the like button. Thank you. Good. And and right. Excellent. Good. Thank you. Okay, and engage more in the comments in a more timely manner. Excellent. Okay, marketing is about inspiring people to take action on your expertise. So, marketing is not sales. Okay. And so this is now 40% of your time. 40% of the time that you spend on social media is to educate, inspire, and motivate. And one of the things I forgot to say in the 50%, that is from your personal profiles. Okay, so it's not like Whole Heart Marketing likes your post. It's Diana Konkoff Morgan likes your post. Okay, so engaging is from your personal profile. Facebook wants you to be a person, and they want you to use your personal profile, because basically if you're using your business page, which you do need a business page, in case anyone was about to ask me, do I really need a business page? You do need a business page, but your business page is like your Facebook website. Okay. You want to populate it with content regularly, but it's from your personal profile where you're engaging. So on Facebook, it's your personal profile. On LinkedIn, it's your personal profile, and half is engaging, and then the other half is what we're about to talk about. So 40% show up and serve, educate, inspire, and motivate. I want to talk about the big change on the algorithm on Facebook, and it's not just Facebook, it's also all social media. But the algorithm change is that it's now changed from, the priority used to be your friends and followers would see your content, but now 50% of the content that you are seeing and that other people are seeing is from people who are not friends and followers. It's basically interest-based content. So the good news about this is that you can reach more people, and more non-followers and non-friends. The challenge is it's more important than ever to make sure that you are using words that are the words that your ideal clients would use to search for you. Now, on your business page, you want to think about what are the key words that your ideal clients would use to search for you, because that's how the social media platforms are going to determine who's going to see your content. If your content is engaging, it gets likes, comments, and shares, and Facebook is going to recommend it to users who don't follow you. And the thing about one of the things that I find is when I share images, when I share reels, videos, that's what gets the most engagement. So, that's what you want to be sharing as much as possible, but not just promotional. You want to be sharing information and education as well. Reels and videos. On your personal profile, you want to make sure your profile is set to public and your posts can be reached by way beyond your friends and appear in non-followers feeds based on shared interests. So this means that you want to use your personal profile strategically, and you're going to see more free organic reach. So your best strategy moving forward for the business page, focus on short form videos and reels, engaging images and posts, and content that sparks conversation. For your personal profile, consider using professional mode. Now, if you're not really active on your personal profile, you might not have the option to use professional mode yet, but you will eventually. And with professional mode, you can actually see your statistics. But here's the thing. Okay, listen carefully. Just because your personal profile is in professional mode does not mean it is a business page. And it doesn't mean that you would use that instead of a business page, because you still have to use it for liking, commenting, sharing, and building relationships. You can't just post a bunch of promotional stuff on your personal profile because it's in professional mode. Now, you can boost posts and advertise now if you're in professional mode, and you can also schedule posts, which is nice, but you can only do it on a mobile device, which is annoying. But you can do it at least. So I do recommend, it is a good thing. I tested it out off and on for about the past year, and it is a good thing. And so if you are somebody who has the energy and the desire, groups are good because more people are going to see your content in a group. But groups are a lot of work, and you want to make sure your group is public. So the bottom line is that 50% or more of the content that you see is suggested for you from people you've never heard of. So if the algorithm thinks a person is interested in the content, it's more likely that it will show up in their feed, even if they're not a follower. So it's more important than ever that your content is relevant. And this is back to keywords, back to hashtags. You're looking at AI, and you're looking at how your content is processed and who gets to see it, which is why I want to recommend that you don't switch back and forth on your niches. You pick a niche and you be consistent with that niche so that AI gets what your social media is about and gets who to show it to. So that being said, the last time, okay, this is one of those things, like everything I tell you is true as of this morning. The last time I gave this talk, we were all full-blown yes about hashtags. Over the next couple of years, not yet, so keep using hashtags and I'll let you know when to not bother. Hashtags are probably not going to be used as much anymore, but they still are, and it's still valid, and still use them. But, because of AI, it's really becoming not as necessary, but it also is becoming more important to be using the right words and the right message. So hashtags perform several functions. They connect your post with the topic or audience and allow users to search by hashtag, and they allow the platforms to serve content to users who are receptive to that content. So basically, the hashtags tell the search engines who should see your content. Okay. Plus, people can search by hashtag to find content that's relevant. So this is a great hashtag strategy. For like for Facebook, you might use 5 or 6 hashtags. Instagram, you can use more, but switch up your hashtags. Don't use the same ones every time because then it becomes spammy for the search engines. So for this strategy is you would pick like from 3 different categories. You do a couple of hashtags for what the content relates to, a couple for the problem to be solved, and a couple for the audience who you're targeting. So for example, mine might be, the content relates to get more clients or, um, you know, uh, learn how to use Facebook. The problem to be solved would be maybe it's make more money or maybe it's hashtag Facebook, something like that. And then the target audience would be, for me, it might be like women entrepreneurs or, you know, uh, purpose-driven women entrepreneurs, something like that. So you have all 3 categories that you can reach people from. This is also a good screenshot. So the strategy, basically, we've talked about this: share valuable, informative, and engaging content, maintain a consistent posting schedule. I'm kind of from the school of 1 post a day, at least. And what you can do is if you post one of your own and then you share one of someone else's, that's a great way to stay consistent. Use a mix of content types, articles, infographics, etc., and focus on providing solution and answering questions. That's 40% of your time. Specifically, what to share: user-generated content, which is testimonials, reviews, lifting other people up, humor and memes, inspirational quotes, heartwarming stories, educational content, personal stories, milestones, achievements. All of these are great things to share that are personal. And you're going to find that when you share these things, you're going to get way more lean in and way more attention to your social media. Sharing video is great. As I said, hosting live sessions where you interview people or your own lives. I'm all about intentional lives, so that if you share intentional lives where you like 3 tips about something or 3 best kept secrets, then you can actually take those videos, download them, and repurpose them and share them in other places, all, as MP4s all over. You can share them on all your platforms. Engage with your audience in real time, host Q&A sessions, tutorials behind the scenes, promote live sessions for better turnout in advance, and download and share across all platforms. Don't share a YouTube link on Facebook. Download and share the MP4. Share the MP4 on YouTube, on LinkedIn, because these platforms don't play well together. So you'll notice if you find a YouTube link on Facebook, you won't be able to expand it. It'll stay little because that's them saying, we don't like YouTube. So upload the MP4. Okay, stories. So stories are great, but it's really important when you share stories, if you really want people to see it, make sure you share it in your feed. Because why? How many of you have had that experience where you click on a story and then all of a sudden it goes away? And stories are only up for 24 hours. So the good news about stories is you're up at the top of everyone's feed for those 24 hours. The bad news is if they miss it, they miss it. So make sure if it's something you really want people to see that you share it in your feed. I personally find stories very annoying, just saying. Okay, so share behind the scenes, use interactive polls. All of these are great ways to engage. And of course, this is on Instagram and Facebook too. Okay, so that's 40% of your time. So put in the chat one thing that you're going to take from this section of what are you going to share more around educating, inspiring, motivating. Okay, your inspiration could use work. Thank you, Stacy. And you're like, for me, my inspiration, like, I don't you go by the holidays and the traditional, like, my inspiration would include things like sharing, like I do a month on like sharing from the heart, or I do a month on inspiring stories from women, business owners, or women inspiring women. So it's like I make up my own themes for the month, share others' inspiring posts and tag them. Yes, good, Monique. Thank you. Okay, now we have 90%. We have built influence. Now we're going to talk about inviting. Okay, so how do we invite? And this is 10% of your content. And remember, if this is all you're doing, then it's 100%. So this is it's like a puzzle. You have to do all the pieces. So this is your free thing. Events, products, special offers. If you sell product, you could do like a money back guarantee or samples for the free thing. Of course, people expect a free thing. That's just how life is. This is my free thing. I do this about once a month, and I invite people to come. And honestly, a lot of people sign up and they don't come, they get the replay, and that's fine with me. I get them on my list. I can continue to build my relationship with them. I just had somebody recently who's been getting my stuff since 2022 finally reach out and say, like, okay, I'm ready to work with you. So it's like, that's what happens is it's you staying in touch. Because here's the thing, if you don't stay in touch with people, then when they're ready, they go work with that other person who's in front of them, because not everybody's ready right now. So the free thing keeps people engaged until they're ready for you. So I just want to talk about this couple of strategies for how to present your what you want to offer. So an example would be like sharing a personal story about how your product or service helps someone else, rather than just saying, hey, I have this sale, or here, buy this, or whatever. Is that share examples, share testimonials, share stories. If you don't feel comfortable using people's names, then you don't have to, but at least you're sharing the story and giving people an experience. Another strategy is, I remember when I or a client struggled with social media, here's how that changed, and how now I help others do the same. Yours might be struggled with a health issue, struggled with whatever it is. And then, instead of just, hey, sign up for my coaching program. So what we've talked about today is the social media success formula. And this is all about free organic reach. It's all about using the internet as a 24/7 network. So I would love for you to put one more thing in the chat today that you're going to implement from our talk. And in the meantime, while you're doing that, I would like to take a few minutes to talk to you about what I have going on. If you would like to know how you can continue to work with me. So of course, I have lots of one-on-one. I do one-on-one consulting and coaching. I do social media makeover. I do uh, uh, done with you services. And what I want to talk about today is my Whole Heart Social Media Get It Done program. So this not have DM me on all my posts. Right. Yes. Thank you. Yeah. You don't want to have DM me on all of my posts. More engagement with other people related content. Very good. And update your profile. Very good. Okay. Excellent. So the program that I want to talk about today, it's my Whole Heart Social Media Get It Done Now program. And it's 3 months, and it's how to learn the most powerful strategies and how to discover how to get more free reach and visibility. We meet every week on Tuesdays from 9 to 10:30, and the class is an opportunity to take your results to the next level. So you'll discover more steps to the winning social media success formula, get more clients, how to stop wasting time and money doing things that don't work, get out of confusion and overwhelm, learn what's working now on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and YouTube. And the way this works is I sort of alternate between content and social media. So I really help you to figure out, like, maybe you don't know what your freebie is, or maybe you don't know how to promote your freebie, or maybe you're, you have something on your Facebook that's not working right. So you're going to walk away with tools and strategies to walk your results. You're going to learn authentic, heart-centered networking strategies to increase referrals and clients, ways to build influence, credibility, and visibility, and strategies that get more than just likes, comments, and shares. You're going to actually increase your income and set yourself up for maximum success. So it's a 3-month program. It meets Tuesdays from 9 to 10:30, and it's 3 months for $297. And I did have this program kind of, you could just join for a month, but really I changed it because it doesn't really serve people to just join for a month. You can join in any month, but it's a 3-month program. And all of the classes are available on demand. So if you can't make it, you can also take it on demand. And you can, the way the class works is, I went backwards. Okay. We do, let's see, this is not the one. Oh, I'm missing a slide. Okay, so I'm just going to tell you. So we have 30 to 40 minutes of teaching where I will teach strategy. Then we have another 45 minutes, whatever time is left, around 45 minutes for you to actually implement, to get it done, guided implementation, so that you have the opportunity to work on things with me present in the class. So you get expert answers to your specific questions, actionable tips to implement right away with confidence and clarity, and connection from a supportive community. And again, all the classes are available on demand. So if you miss a class, or if you just can't make it, or if you prefer, sometimes people just come for the teaching and then they leave after that because they have to leave early. But the main thing is you're going to have accountability. So every week you're going to know that your social media is getting focus and getting work done. So, oops. I'm going to put the link in the chat if I can find it. And in the meantime, I would like to know if you have any questions. Here, I'll put it for my website. And if you do, you can unmute if you have any questions. Okay, here's the class. I'm also going to send you an email with the class information in it. So these are tried and tested strategies. This is me. I've been doing this for almost 20 years, and I read all the 150,000 emails so that you don't have to know what is the latest. And I can tell you next month, starting in November, we're going to be focusing on YouTube. So that's what we do, is we'll focus on a certain platform. We focus on editorial calendar. We focus on how to create engaging content. We just focus on the things that I think people need to know about how to be effective with their social media. So I'm going to stop the share, and I'm going to see if anybody has any questions, comments, and I would love to hear from you. Any takeaways, ahas, anything you'd like to share.
Diana, this is a fabulous reminder of some things I maybe have heard before, but not packaged so cohesively. And just, this is a great reminder. I really appreciate this.
Good. Okay, great. Thank you. Awesome.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this. Thank you so much, Diane. This was lovely. Thank you for inviting me.
You're welcome.
Because I was like totally social media, like, hell no, I don't want to do it. I'm private. And but because I got great results, I'm now very out there. But I really like the fact that just the instructions on how to do it properly. So I appreciate that. Thank you.
Nice. You're welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for all the reminders. Just wow. I got out of sync and so thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, it's like I know that happens where, unless it's your thing, like it's my thing. But if it's not your thing, it ends up on the back burner, and it ends up being the thing that oh yeah, I gotta do it. I gotta do it. But, it's like we all have a really important message and we all want to make a bigger impact. And, social media, you have the opportunity to speak on the biggest stage that exists. And that's the bottom line. Like everybody wants to be a speaker. Here you have the biggest stage that exists in the world to speak on, to reach people, to make a bigger impact. So that's my wish and my desire for you is to get yourself out there and make your bigger impact. So
Great.
thank you so much for being here today. I do send the replay out and you will also get an email about the class. I would love to have you join. And otherwise, I will see you somewhere.
Is
On
Thanks,
Facebook.
Diana.
I'll see you on Facebook.
Yeah,
All right. Take care, everybody. Thank you.
thanks.